Elvis Presley sang about the Heartbreak Hotel. Dionne Warwick sang about Why Do You Have to Be a Heartbreaker? Jimmy Ruffin sang What Becomes of the Brokenhearted? Heartbreak communicates. We all know about broken hearts, and yet we rarely think about what an evocative image this biblical phrase is. Imagine a heart, now imagine it broken into pieces. It's a painful, violent image, actually. But the Bible doesn't flinch from this kind of language, because in the Bible, the heart is the center of human personality. As Proverbs chapter 4 verse 23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." The heart is the fountainhead. Your life flows from your heart. And actually the Bible is full of language about our hearts and the way that they can be. It wants us to pay attention to our heart's many states. Let me just give you a selection from the Bible about the various ways the Bible describes our hearts. Our hearts can be failed, faint, glad, hard, soft, stony, willing, stirred, sorrowful, obstinate. The heart can be lifted up, proud, circumcised, uncircumcised, wicked, grieved, hot, astonished, trembling, melted, or dead. Our hearts can incline, rejoice, turn away, turn back, meditate, or despair. They can be tender, double or divided, single or united, inclined, pure, clean, fat, perverse, enlarged, contrite, fixed, set, overwhelmed, desolate, washed, poured out, moved, revived, evil, rebellious, veiled or opened, turned or burning, troubled or pierced. That's just to name a few. This gives us an idea that the Bible was not written by Stoics. It was written by people with their hearts on their sleeves. Our hearts are capable of incredible variation, and we should be attentive to that. But what about this broken heart? Because it's no coincidence that the famous phrase that's come to us from the Bible about our hearts is our broken hearts. We all feel brokenhearted. Is there hope for the brokenhearted? Yes, there is. There's hope from the Lord Jesus himself. Isaiah chapter 61, we know these are the words of Jesus from Luke chapter 4. But here Jesus says, verse 1, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn and provide for those who grieve in Zion." Throughout Isaiah, the prophet lifts up this king before us. He's the true king who is the Lord of the temple vision from Isaiah chapter 6. And he will, chapter 7, become Emmanuel, this miraculous child. Chapter 9 calls him the Prince of Peace. Chapter 11 calls him the Spirit-filled branch. And Isaiah 53 depicts him as our sacrificial lamb. Now here in Isaiah 61 we read about the just and gentle rule of this Spirit-filled king. This ruler does not use his power to dominate, but to heal and to bless. Think about this. What king cares about the hearts of his subjects? Not just their wealth or their health or their freedom or their rights. He cares for our hearts. What king not only cares for broken hearts, but cures them? This king does. He binds up the brokenhearted. How does he do that? Does he just speak down from heaven and just say, "Oh, there, never mind, it'll be all right in the end"? Well, that never helps when anyone does that to us, does it? But Jesus gives us extraordinary help in the midst of heartache. He comes down into our heartbreak and he feels it with us. Psalm 69 records the words of Christ. We know that these are the words of Christ because of John chapter 2 and because, well, you'll hear as I read that these very much are the words of Christ. So let me read Psalm 69 verses 16 to 21. "Answer me, O Lord, out of the goodness of your love. In your great mercy, turn to me. Do not hide your face from your servant. Answer me quickly, for I am in trouble. Come near and rescue me. Redeem me because of my foes. You know how I am scorned, disgraced, and shamed. All my enemies are before you. Scorn has broken my heart and has left me helpless. I looked for sympathy, but there was none. For comforters, but I found none. They put gall in my food and gave me vinegar for my thirst." That's how you know that this is the words of Jesus. Christ died on that cross, being given vinegar for his thirst, and he says he dies of a broken heart. That's true not just physiologically, it's true emotionally. The scorn of those rejecting him broke his heart. You can read the whole of Psalm 69 to feel the emotional heaviness of that. Christ was heartbroken for you. And that's vital to know, because Jesus doesn't just smile patronizingly down from heaven and say, oh, silly humans, they get so worked up, oh, bless them. No, he knows what a deadly thing it is to be heartbroken. He enters into that far deeper than we will ever experience. And he rises up again, bound up, healed. And by his Spirit, he offers to us the same sympathy. He is the one who has been heartbroken for us, and who has conquered, who has been bound up, and who can now offer that binding up to all us broken-hearted failures. Today, are you broken-hearted? Or do you care for someone who is broken-hearted? Hear these words from Psalm 34 and know that this is the comfort that Christ can give to you in all your heartache. Psalm 34 from verse 18. These are your words for today. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and he saves those who are crushed in spirit.